The Vector K10 is a high fire rate submachine gun, and the recoil is fairly easy to control. It doesn't go side by side, it sort of goes up and to one side, I'm not sure which one. But it is only good at short range. It not good at all at long distance because the recoil that it does have comes into effect there a lot. And also, using a sight isn't really a good option for the submachine guns, and at long range it's very hard to see the target, especially if your reticles are moving about because of the recoil. So remember, it's a submachine gun, so don't try at range. So if you see someone at long range, try to use cover to get closer, maybe to the right and flank around. They usually don't expect it. They usually expect you to go behind some cover, pop out and try and shoot again. So it's a very good strategy in general if you see someone with an assault rifle and some cover at long range. Don't try to take him on head first because you are going to lose. Flank him and then he will have a lot more trouble. The Vector isn't that good at hipfire. There are better submachine guns for hipfire, but if you are at very close range, it pays to use the hipfire spray and not to aim down the sight because it's very hard to follow a target that's very close. And that said though, it is a close quarters weapon, so go into the front lines, but use your sights, aim down the sights. Don't use hipfire exclusively because you're going to have trouble with that because it's going to miss a lot. It does have low damage, which kind of compensates for the high fire rate, and if you have a low damage submachine gun with a high fire rate, usually that means that you have trouble against multiple targets because taking down one guy takes so long. I mean, you can take down one guy because if you shoot him, you know, he's going to be flinching, you're going to be moving, but if there's a second guy that you can't engage in combat directly, he can just stand there and shoot you, you're going to have a lot of trouble dealing with that because it takes so long to kill the first guy. So the class that I built is around survivability and being able to use hipfire a bit better because it does come into account when you shoot people, but it also uses perks and attachments that help with the aim down sight. So flak jacket and tactical mask will help you survive in close quarters, and especially if you're playing in objective mode, that will help you a lot because you are being aggressive, and stun grenades and frags and all that stuff is quite dangerous. Toughness, again, it's used because you aim down sight, and flinch is brutal when you aim down sight. And there's tactical, the lethal grenade. Semtex I think is the better option because you are in a close quarter situation, and Semtex you just throw and forget and they explode and so on. The reason I was using shock charge was because I was playing hardpoint, and shock charges are pretty powerful in that because you can just put it into a doorway, and then when an enemy runs through, you know, and they also get stunned. Secondary, pistol, whatever, nothing really important. It's just there so if in case you run out of bullets in your magazine, so you can switch to it and finish enemies off. The reason I use laser sight is because at close range hip firing is very important, especially if you're playing hardpoint. There's a lot of close quarters situation in that, and laser sight helps you out with that a lot as it increases your accuracy when you hip fire. And also in general combat, you should always start off shooting and then aim down your sight whilst you're shooting, and that helps that initial part. Maybe you can get a hit or so on the other guy and get him flinch so he misses you a bit. And the foregrip is just there again to help out with the recoil when you aim down the sight, because it allows you to go at a bit greater distances, but nothing too dramatic. You still have to be in very close quarters for this, fairly close quarters for the Vector K10 to be effective. So, thank you for watching, and until next time.